English we speak.
From BBC Learning English.
Hello and welcome to the English we speak from BBC Learning English. I'm Jiaying.
And I'm Neil.
Thanks for wearing a hat today, Neil. It'll be great for demonstrating our piece of authentic English today.
Well, wearing a hat is very useful. It makes you taller and smarter. The bigger the hat, the bigger the brains, apparently.
Excellent. You have demonstrated our phrase very well.
Remind me what it is?
To talk through your hat. It means to talk a lot about something you don't really understand. I could say, you're just talking rubbish.
Maybe I should just wear a different hat.
No, Neil. Just listen to these examples and you'll understand.
I don't believe Roy's story about climbing Mount Everest. He's talking through his hat. The weatherman's promise of a heatwave didn't come true. I think he was talking through his hat. You're talking through your hat when you say our exams have been postponed.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English. Our phrase today is to talk through your hat, which means to talk a lot about something you don't really understand. And Neil, you've been talking through your hat.
Okay, but I'm sure wearing a hat is good for you.
I know a hat keeps your head warm.
Yes, that's it. They're also good for keeping your biscuits, but keep that under your hat.
Very good, Neil. To keep something under your hat means to keep something a secret. Well, your secret is out now, but let's go before you talk any more rubbish about hats.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
The English we speak.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to the English we speak. I'm Feifei.
And hello, I'm Rob.
What is that smell?
Smell? I can't smell anything.
There's definitely a terrible smell, like mouldy cheese. What's in that bag, Rob?
Oh, this bag. You're right. It is cheese. Beautiful, delicious Stilton cheese, in fact. Would you like some?
No. So why have you got a bag of mouldy cheese?
Well, I stopped at the cheese shop on the way to the office and saw this cheese was half price. And you probably know I have a good nose for a bargain.
I don't think so, Rob. Judging by this cheese, you have a bad nose. It smells awful.
No, Feifei, when you have a nose, or even a good nose for something, it's not about your sense of smell. It describes someone who is naturally good at finding and recognising something. In my case, finding a bargain.
I'm not so sure about that, Rob. Well, I have a good nose for finding examples. So here they are.
We need to sell more newspapers, so we need to find a reporter with a good nose for a story.
I have a good nose for learning languages and was fluent in Spanish in just a year.
My mum's got a nose for bargains and booked us all flights to Italy for just £50 each.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English, and we're finding out about the phrase to have a good nose for something. Rob claims to have one, but I'm not so sure. So, how much did you pay for this cheese, Rob?
Oh, only £20. It was half price.
That's because it's old. Look, it's going green. Sorry, Rob, this cannot stay in the studio. It stinks. Out it goes.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Hold on. I can still smell something bad. It's your socks. Look, you haven't got your shoes on. Ugh.
Wow, Feifei, you really have got a good nose. A good nose for bad smells.
Your bad smells, Rob.
Time to go. Bye.
Bye.
The English we speak.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to the English we speak. I'm Feifei.
You are, and I'm Rob.
Hey, Rob, a question. Is it right you have a friend who lives on top of a mountain?
No.
What about a friend who lives in La Paz? one of the highest cities in the world?
Strange question, but no.
Okay. How about a friend who lives at the top of a very tall tower block?
Definitely not. Why are you asking about my friends anyway?
Well, someone in the office said you have friends in high places, and I just wondered why it was useful to know people who lived high up.
Okay, well, if you have friends in high places, it has nothing to do with their physical location. They're people you know who are powerful and in an important position and are able to help you.
So these are useful people to know then?
They certainly are. Let's hear some examples of other friends in high places.
Wang managed to get a promotion, but I'm sure it's only because he knows people in high places.
Thanks to his friends in high places, my boyfriend managed to get tickets for the sold-out rock concert. Yay!
Despite failing her exams, Jane still managed to get a place at university. I'm sure she has friends in high places.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English, and we're talking about the phrase friends in high places. These are powerful and important people we know and might be able to help us in some way. So, Rob, you know some very important people then?
Well, yes, a few, although not the Queen. Why do you want to know?
Well, I have to renew my passport and I need someone important to witness my application.
Oh, come on, Feifei, you know, I could do that.
Sorry, Rob. You may be a friend, but you're not in a high enough position to do this. Look, it needs a doctor, lawyer or policeman to sign it.
Great, so how high am I?
About this high?
That low? Oh dear. Time to make some new friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The English we speak.
From BBC Learning English.
Hello, I'm Neil. But where is Feifei?
Sorry, I'm late. Is it time for the English we speak?
It is, Feifei, but catch your breath and have a seat. Are you okay? You look a bit of a mess.
Me? A mess? You would be a mess if you had been where I have been.
Okay, calm down. What's that smell?
So you think I smell now? I've been to the rubbish dump.
The rubbish dump? Why did you go there?
Because I was looking for Rob earlier and someone said he was down in the dumps.
Feifei, that's the last place you will find someone who's down in the dumps. It's just a saying that describes someone who is unhappy, fed up, and sometimes feels there's no hope.
Oh, I get it. Being depressed or unhappy is a miserable feeling. A bit like being at a rubbish dump, actually.
Exactly. Let's hear some examples.
Don't be so down in the dumps. You're going on holiday tomorrow.
Oh, it's Monday again. No wonder I feel so down in the dumps.
Reshma has been so down in the dumps since her boyfriend left her.
So that's being down in the dumps, feeling unhappy and miserable. So I've had a wasted trip, but I wonder why Rob is down in the dumps.
It could be because his football team lost. Again.
No, he's used to that happening. It must be something more serious than that.
I know. He's feeling sad because he's not presenting this wonderful programme with you. Such a great script, isn't it?
There's only one place for this script, Neil. In the dump.
Very funny.
Bye.
Bye.
The English we speak.
From BBC Learning English.
This is the English we speak. I'm Feifei.
And hello, I'm Rob.
Rob, would you mind wiping those crumbs from your mouth?
Sorry.
Do you know, it's very strange. I made a cake last night and brought it to work today to share with you.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yes, but it seems to have vanished into thin air.
Wow, you're a magician. You've made a cake disappear.
No, Rob. The phrase to vanish into thin air means to suddenly, mysteriously and completely disappear. You haven't seen the cake, have you, Rob?
No, Feifei, no sign of your disappearing cake.
OK. Well, let's hear some examples of this phrase. Let's hope they haven't suddenly disappeared.
I can't remember where I've parked the car. I think it's vanished into thin air.
Have you seen the boss? Someone important needs to talk to him, but I can't find him anywhere. It's like he's vanished into thin air.
Has anyone seen my glasses? They've vanished into thin air.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English, and we're learning about the expression to vanish into thin air, which can be used to describe a situation where something mysteriously and suddenly disappears. So, any sign of my cake?
No.
Very odd. I put it on my desk this morning and went to make a cup of coffee, and when I returned, it had gone.
Great cake, Rob. Thanks for sharing it. I hope you'll be baking again soon. See ya.
Rob.
Oh, sorry, Feifei. It was so tempting, so delicious, so I thought...
So you thought you'd eat it?
It helped us demonstrate today's phrase.
There's just one thing I want to vanish into thin air.
Oh, yeah? And what's that?
You, Rob. Now I'm off to bake a cake. For me.
See ya. Oh, she's gone.
The English we speak.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, this is the English we speak, and I'm Feifei.
Oh, and hello, I'm Rob.
Rob, didn't you know it's very rude to eat while talking?
Oh, sorry, it's just somebody left these donuts here, and I had to eat them. I have a soft spot for donuts.
Couldn't you wait?
No, sorry, I can't. Oh, is that chocolate I can see in your bag? You couldn't spare a few chunks, could you? I have a soft spot for chocolate as well.
No, Rob, you can't. But can I assume a soft spot refers to your large and soft belly you have as a result of eating too many sweet things?
How dare you! Having a soft spot does not mean having a fat belly. Not that I have one anyway. If you have a soft spot for something, it means you have the feeling of really liking something or someone.
Right. And it's quite a strong feeling?
It is. When you have a soft spot for someone, it means you have a lot of affection for them. Is there anyone you have a soft spot for, Feifei?
At the moment, I just have a soft spot for some examples.
He always had a soft spot for the woman in accounts. And guess what? Now they're getting married.
She has a soft spot for designer shoes. Her cupboard is crammed with hundreds of pairs. Some of them she's never even worn.
She's got a soft spot for her English teacher and keeps buying him presents. And she's always the first to turn up for his lessons.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English, and we are learning about the phrase to have a soft spot, which is a feeling of really liking something or someone. So, Rob, you asked if I had a soft spot for someone, and I do.
Oh, go on.
He's tall and handsome.
Oh, yes.
A little beard.
Of course.
And a natural performer.
I knew it. You only had to say, Feifei.
Yes, it's the great actor Scott Foley.
Oh, I see. You have a soft spot for him.
I do. And how about you, Rob?
There's nobody. Just donuts. Soft, round, sweet, and squidgy in the middle. What's not to like?
Just like you, then.
Time to go, Feifei. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The English we speak.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to the English we speak. I'm Feifei, but where is Rob?
Sorry, Feifei. I didn't know we were in this studio today.
Yes, Studio 62D. It says it on this plan.
Really? The studios and offices are being refurbished and everything seems a bit chaotic.
As long as we follow the plan, we will be okay. Calm down, Rob. Are things really that bad?
Yes. First, I sat at my desk and was told to move to another one, and then when I sat at another desk, I was told the boss was sitting there.
So you had to move on?
Well, of course. And then, when I went to the studio, somebody was in there, reading the news. So I was told to find another studio.
Yes, I get it, Rob. You could say you were moved from pillar to post.
Exactly. You mean going from one place to another in a disorganised and chaotic way.
I do. Let's hear some examples of this phrase in action.
Oh, we got moved from pillar to post on our tour, so we started to complain. It's not what was promised in the holiday brochure.
As a child, both my parents worked, so I got dragged from pillar to post trying to find someone to look after me.
I was passed from pillar to post when I phoned the bank to try and pay my credit card bill.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English, and I'm with Rob, who's been moved from pillar to post. That means moving from one place to another in a disorganised and chaotic way. But Rob, things don't have to be chaotic.
Oh, why's that?
If you just follow the temporary plan, it tells you where to sit and which studio to use.
OK, let's have a look. Right, so we're meant to be in this studio 62D.
Yes. And where's your desk?
Oh no, my desk is right behind a pillar. Nobody will be able to see me now. I'll have no one to talk to.
Oh, I think this office refurbishment is going to be really good.
Thanks. Are we at the end of the programme now?
Yes, bye.
Bye-bye.
The English we speak.
From BBC Learning English.
Hello and welcome to the English we speak. I'm Feifei.
And I'm Rob. Hello.
Hey, Rob, how is your application to run in the marathon going?
Not great. I fill in a form and then I'm told to fill in another one.
Have you tried phoning someone?
Yes, and they won't give me a straight answer. They just keep giving me the runaround.
Well, that makes sense. If you're going to run in a marathon, you've got to run around.
No, Feifei. Giving someone the runaround does not involve any exercise. If you give someone the runaround, it means you behave in an unhelpful way, possibly sending someone from one place to another to get help. If you are given the runaround, it can be very frustrating.
I'm sure it is. I know lots of situations where I've been given the runaround.
Well, there's one place where you won't be given the runaround. It's here, with some helpful examples of this phrase.
When I called the bank to ask for a loan, they just gave me the runaround.
She went to the hospital to get the results of her test, but she just got the runaround. Now she's going to make a formal complaint.
When I complained about the bill, I was told to speak to the boss, but he wasn't there. I think I'm just being given the runaround.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English, and we're finding out about the phrase to give someone the runaround, which means to deliberately behave in an unhelpful way. And, Rob, you've been given the runaround.
I have. All I want to do is get a place in the marathon, but nobody seems to want to help me.
Could it be that you're so unfit they just don't want to give you a place?
I don't think so. I've been training for weeks.
Well, I managed to get a place straight away with no runaround.
What? You're running the marathon too? Why didn't you tell me? Right, I'm going to phone them again and demand a place.
And don't be given the runaround this time, Rob.
I won't. See you at the start line.
Bye.
The English we speak.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Welcome to the English we speak. Hello, I'm Feifei.
And hello, I'm Rob. Feifei, why the sad face?
It's not a sad face. It's an angry face.
Oh no, has someone upset you?
They sure have. I've just overheard Neil saying I have no fashion sense. He says I dress like I'm living in the 1980s.
Ouch.
And he says my clothes are uncoordinated and dated.
Well, Feifei, I hate to say it, but if the cap fits...
What cap? I don't wear hats.
No, Feifei, I mean the criticism is probably true and you should accept it. In other words, he's probably right.
Rob, I can't believe you agree with Neil.
Let's hear some examples, shall we?
My boyfriend calls me messy and untidy. What a cheek.
Well, if the cap fits.
You say your teacher thinks you're lazy because you never do your homework. Well, if the cap fits.
They think I ate all the biscuits because I was the only one in the kitchen last night.
Well, if the cap fits.
This is the English We Speak from BBC Learning English, and we're finding out about the phrase, if the cap fits, which means you agree with someone's criticism or an opinion about someone else, and they should accept it. But, Feifei, you're claiming you can't accept what Neil said about your fashion sense, so you're saying the cap doesn't fit?
Exactly. But Neil is rude, unkind and tactless.
Oh, absolutely.
And you are the same for agreeing with him. So, Rob, if the cap fits...
I know, I should wear it. Actually, Feifei, your clothes aren't that bad. You look very fashionable, in fact.
Oh, you're a hypocrite too. Rob, keep wearing that cap.
Oh, fair enough. See ya.
Bye.
The English We Speak.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, this is the English We Speak, and I'm Feifei. Joining me is Neil.
Hello.
Hey Neil, how was your night out at the new restaurant?
Oh, it was, okay.
Just okay?
The food was average. The service was standard.
Neil, there's no pleasing you.
Keep your voice down, Feifei. It was nothing to shout about.
It was nothing to shout about? Would you normally shout about a good restaurant?
Of course not. But when something is nothing to shout about, it means it's nothing special. It's average or unremarkable. So you wouldn't make an effort to tell anyone about it.
So basically, you mean your experience was disappointing?
Not exactly. I mean, it was neither good nor bad. Just average. These examples might make the phrase easier to understand.
This year's bonus is nothing to shout about, but I guess it's better than last year's.
My job's nothing to shout about, but at least it pays the bills.
Her clothes are nothing to shout about. Brown, cotton, cheap-looking, not very fashionable.
This is the English We Speak from the BBC, and we're discussing the phrase nothing to shout about. It's used to describe something or someone that isn't special, something unremarkable or just ordinary. So, Neil, the restaurant was nothing special, but was there anything you could shout about?
Oh yeah, the prices. It was so cheap. That's probably why the food wasn't great. And on Mondays, they do a special 2 for the price of 1 meal. That's something to shout about.
You're easy to please.
Actually, Feifei, I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner with me next Monday.
At the restaurant that's nothing to shout about?
Yeah.
OK then, and if the food isn't good, I'll have someone to shout at.
Who's that?
You.
Bye.
Bye.